big breaking news has just descended on us from in Jammu and Kashmir, where in the Lidwar area, 3 high-value terrorists have been eliminated in a joint operation by the Indian Army, the Rashtriya Rifles, the CRPF and the Jammu and Kashmir Special Operations Group of the police. We have Nazir with us in a moment. He's making his way to the site where this encounter has taken place. Vishnu Shom continues to be with me. He's travelled extensively in this area. I was in across Kashmir for 22 days, remember, covering both the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack as well as Operation Sindoor. Vishnu, quickly coming back to you first. Okay, I'll go back to Vishnu in just a moment. Lieutenant General KJS Tiny Dhillon is with me. He's former 15 Corps commander. It was during his tenure that the TRF came up as a terrorist group and a face of the Lashkar-e-Taiba as well. General Dhillon, welcome. Operation Mahadev is what the 15 Corps is calling it. What are you hearing? What can you tell us? There's a lot of buzz over who these high-value terrorists are, sir. What are you hearing?
Good afternoon and good afternoon to all your viewers. This area of Dachigam forest is immediately towards the Sonamag highway, if you look at from the Zamibagh cantonment, and the ridge behind, which is a very thickly populated, thickly and dense vegetated ridge, is called Mahadev Ridge. So it is in that area of Lidwas that this operation is going on, and what I can confirm to you as of now is 3 terrorists have definitely been eliminated. And this group was being chased for a number of days. The security forces, that includes Rashtriya Rifles, Indian Army, Jammu Kashmir Police, CRPF, were trailing this group for a number of days. And finally, the contact happened today, sometime about an hour and a half or 2 hours ago. And as of now, 3 of them have been killed. The identity is still being ascertained. But as you said, this is a high-value target, and they were being chased for the last few days. And this happened in the area of Lidwas, in Dachigam forest, just near the Mahadev Ridge. That is the general area.
General Dhillon, you have operated in this area. This area came under you as the 15 Corps commander. These statements have come out from the 15 Corps itself. Tell us a little bit about the terrain here. How difficult would it have been to track these 3 high-value terrorists in this particular terrain, sir?
This terrain is a high-altitude area if you go towards the higher reaches, and the jungle here are very dense. The villages and the populated pockets are very few. Jungles are so dense that it has primary, secondary and tertiary forest. That means the visibility at time is not even 2 meters. And sunlight hardly touches the ground in certain portions in this area. The terrain is very tough. The terrain is the altitudes and inclines are quite rough. And it is not a very frequented area, so jungle trails and foot tracks are also limited. However, there are certain grazing patches in between, and those are used by the graziers or nomads or bakarwals for grazing their livestock during this season of the year. But otherwise, this area is very dense and very tough terrain. Not easy to track the terrorists in this area. But good thing is security forces have been tracking them for a few days, and today they have been successful and have been able to eliminate 3 of them. Identity is still uncertain.
General Dhillon, final question. What does high-value terrorist mean? Explain that to our viewers in terms of a distinction, in terms of, the kind of operation that has just been conducted. What does HVT mean to the army?
See, high-value target or category A++ target, over a number of days the terrorist is active, or number of weeks or months, and the number of actions which has been carried out by a terrorist, and the type of actions which have been carried out by terrorists, the terrorists are graded by the security forces. Like a chap who has just joined in, he may be graded as a terrorist grade C, that is Charlie. Then after some time he becomes C+ or C++. Suddenly he does a very big action. He gets into the B category or A category. And the highest graded is A++.
Okay.
And high value target is when you are not sure of the identity per se, or you don't want to reveal the identity as of now, and accordingly you don't even want to reveal their grading as of now, But you are very sure, because you have been tracking them for a few days, that they are very, very big targets. So to use the word high value
Yeah.
target is basically to equate that they're very highly graded terrorists and they have been responsible for some major operations in the past. Now, what have been those operations and what have been their linkages with those operations? Those will be revealed by the security forces the moment they reveal the confirmed identity.
How long does that typically take, General? You know, obviously, this is a very, very sensitive operation because there is buzz over the entire possibility that they may be linked to the Pahalgam attack. We don't know that. On NDTV. We are categorically saying there is nothing official to suggest that at all. But in the surround sound that is taking place on social media and elsewhere, we want to cut through all of that and only provide authentic information. That's why we've brought you on. How long would it typically take to, definitively ascertain the identity and, categorically say whether there is or is not a link?
What happens is when the encounter is going on in such a remote area and in such a high dense forest, generally the senior commanders will not disturb the commander on ground. He may be a captain, he may be a major, he may be a lieutenant colonel, or if the operation is led by a CO, that's a different issue. So invariably the input only comes from the party on ground. Now, the information that 3 terrorists have been killed would have come from the commander on ground, that 3 are killed and we can see the body, we can see the weapon. Now, after that, once they go closer and there is no firefight going on, still, that is the time they will take the photographs and they will send it back. Now, the photographs, once they come back, then there is a team which has the background intelligence about the terrorist operating and the terrorist whom they were chasing. So they will match these photographs with the data bank. In the meantime, there will be certain intercepts of the terrorists which would start coming in. Now, those intercepts would reveal certain things. These photographs which have been received would reveal the identity. And once it is confirmed, then only the security forces will give out the names and the identity. So this takes a little time. The start point of the time is when the commander on ground has got the time and he is no more under active fire to take the pictures and send them back. Generally, the commanders on ground are never disturbed and never told to hurry up and send me the pictures and what are you doing now. It's not a minute-to-minute report being taken from the commander on ground because that may jeopardize the security, the safety of foreign troops and may lead to casualties. So when the situation on ground would be under control of the commander, he would take the picture and send it back. In the meantime, the intercepting units are all alert. They are scanning the spectrum, and whatever intercept they pick up, it would also be sent to the corroborating center, and then the identity will be revealed.
General Dhillon, thank you very much for joining us and making sense of this, the dribbles of information that are coming in. I also want to categorically confirm, we're hearing from our sources on NDTV that all 3 terrorists who've been eliminated happen to be foreign terrorists, which means they're Pakistanis. None of them are, from Kashmir itself. They're all Pakistani terrorists that have been eliminated in the Lidwar area of the Harwan, Srinagar, the Mahadev range. We don't know just yet whether there is a direct link with the Pahalgam group, but we are hearing that there may be an emerging link, which will be, of course, defined once the army gets it. Nazir Masoodi is with me live, my senior colleague from the ground in Kashmir, making his way to the encounter site. Nazir, what are you hearing? All kinds of information coming out right now. The Rashtriya Rifles, the Para Special Forces obviously also involved. The SOG of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. There is a heightened sense that there is a direct link to Pahalgam, but there is no categorical confirmation just yet. What are you hearing, Nazir? Let me bring in Vishnu. Vishnu, are you hearing anything from the armed forces at this time?
Well, I can confirm what you were reporting a little while back, that based on certain inputs, they knew the presence of foreign terrorists likely operating in this area. We can confirm, and this is what the Corps has also confirmed, that 3 people have been killed, 3 terrorists have been killed in this encounter. However, as I understand it at this juncture, the process of the operation winding down is likely to just about is likely to commence soon. I do not know if it has started or not. And then it's only once recoveries are examined in terms of the weaponry and in terms of those who have been eliminated, that link to Pahalgam, if there is a link to Pahalgam, and again, we need to stress to our viewers at this juncture that we do not know that at the moment. If there is a link to Pahalgam, it's only then that we'd be able to know it. But I think it's important to look at what we have so far. The number of grenades which have been recovered, we have these on the center of your screen, easily over a dozen. These are, it indicates, and these are just preliminary recoveries, that these terrorists have been extremely heavily armed. If you look at, the places where they were staying, we've got a hideout captured on cam. It does indicate that they were trained in jungle craft. This is high-end training. It is meant to ensure their survival in difficult conditions, in altitude, in jungles, to live off the earth. Remember, terrorists in the past used to, and even now, used to try and infiltrate villages of people and forcing people to give them cover, to give them food, a place to stay, etc., etc. What this hideout indicates is the presence of these terrorists, in the forest, trained in jungle craft, and therefore, given the fact that it's been so many months since Pahalgam took place, and these terrorists who were responsible for Pahalgam absolutely disappeared, the big question that everybody, and certainly people in the army that I've been speaking to, want to know is, is there a link? Now, people would immediately start asking all sorts of funny questions. Is there a link to to this debate which is supposed to happen in Parliament on Pahalgam? How is it that it's all coincidental that on a day when the opposition starts talking about Pahalgam in Parliament, you have an encounter which is breaking out? I just want to be absolutely, completely clear on this. You cannot time an encounter. It doesn't work that way. You cannot wait for an encounter and then launch an operation at a certain stage. Our soldiers are very good, but nobody can do that sort of thing. Therefore, it's important to dismiss, anything which emerges out there saying that, this timing is curious. What we do know, and we're going to stick to the facts because that's what we do, is that 3 people have been killed, terrorists. They've been in a high altitude place near a Mount Mahadev. In this particular area, given the terrain that we are seeing and where their terrorist hideouts are located, it appears that these are terrorists trained in jungle craft. There is a strong possibility, based on what I have been told, of these being foreign terrorists. In other words, there was an input already which existed on the likelihood or the possibility of foreign terrorists being there.